everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Trackalicious. You made it to another round of the Wednesday Multi-Class League. Welcome, Doc Milby. Let's go racing indeed. Thank you, One Bigly, for the donation earlier, and some hydrates from Beach GT and One Bigly. And, most importantly, we have Tyler Morgan joining this evening. How are you doing, Tyler?
Recovering from injury, recovering from watching the Jays lose in dramatic fashion to the Dodgers still is burned deep into my soul. It will never go away, no matter how hard I try. I now have to look forward to the Leafs to try and give me my salvation. But in the meantime, I guess I can sneak in for a little bit of the Multiclass Masters and see what the GT3s and the GT4s have to offer.
Yeah, it's been super close so far. In the GT4s, Justin Beachley and Ilpo Ruotsalainen leading the way in the GT4s, but no one has come close to Sarah Liu. Neil Kerbel was close last week. Can he get even closer this time out around Indianapolis? Hello, Cicerone. Neil says Tyler punched a wall after the Blue Jays loss. Is that true, Tyler?
There's rumors that is... There's rumors going around because I was in a call during the game in which it occurred. I'm not going to answer those questions right now because I think personally it's pretty funny that that's the talking point and not the fact that I was in my mind the entire time, but whatever. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go to Indianapolis, who don't actually have a baseball team, but they do have a basketball team that also lost in the NBA Finals, I think, last year.
It's all sports trivia early on, and let's head to the qualifying session with the GT4s beginning to roll out on track. Race winner from last week, Ilpo Ruotsalainen in the 204 Camaro, leads the field out on track to begin their first outlaps of the session.
Indianapolis is I like Indianapolis. The iRacing layout I find is better, just because there isn't this little infield section with this little hairpin area, but like I still like it. It's got a good taste of long corners, some short, some heavy braking zones. Obviously, you have some good overtaking spots. Turn 1 being the obvious one. I got a really good overtake last time we were here at Indy. I also got a win too, so Indy will forever hold a special place in my heart for that exact reason. But it's just all about who can keep their car on the track, keep it forward, and can take most with their opportunities.
Yeah, certainly a track where you kind of have to have a flow, and if you don't have the flow, it can become a pretty frustrating evening if you get yourself out of rhythm and out of sync, especially around turn 8, 9, 10, and 11 after that little back straight. If you find yourself just thrown off a little bit after one of those corners, you might lose a lot of lap time trying to recover back to the racing line. As these first 4 GT4s begin their first qualifying laps, you've got Ilpo leading the way, Justin Beachley behind, then the Ginetta, that's Moriko Yatanashi there, with Brian DeSantiago tailing this 4-car train to start their first outlaps.
Kind of interesting seeing the GT4s qualifying, knowing that their first laps are not going to be their best, because with the GT4, no tire blankets, lull, so the first few laps are not the best kind of laps.
Yeah, certainly not. We'll get at least some laps on the board, like you said, won't be as representative as they will be perhaps later on in the session. Can Joe Chericola get back on the podium as he did last week here in the number 9 AMG, going through the hairpin at turn number 6? Very tricky to get the corners right here. Not a lot of elevation change or camber as we saw at Watkins Glen with the rookies on Monday. Relatively flat infield section here at Indianapolis, just the banking along the road course, not the road course, the speedway itself. This is the road course.
I mean, you can call it however the heck you want. I'm not the one to judge it. Someone's ability to call what is a road and what's not, as long as they As long as they keep it on the track, they're fine.
Oh, and Joe does not do that.
Instantly. Wow. Commentator's curse just goes right through the front door.
Welcome back, Tyler.
Oh, it hurts to laugh with the injury, but yeah. Oh, God, Joe, stop. Get the camera off him, please.
We sure can do that. Ilpo Ruotsalainen leads the way of 43.812, then Beachley, then Yatanashi, then Mostachero sets a time quicker than Brian DeSantiago. And now we'll just wait to see what the rest of the GT4 field can do. Rally Dutchy going deep into turn 1, still hopefully keeping the lap valid. Oh wait, that wasn't turn 1, that was turn 8. Not turn 8, turn 13, excuse me. God, I'm all over the place here. Getting used to the camera layout here. But nonetheless, invalidating that lap was Rally Dutchy, so he will have to go around once more as Hezzy Thomas gets on the board in the number 59 KTM, and he goes 6th fastest.
Mirko. Last time I was broadcasting and Mirko was driving, they hit the clip of a lifetime. Maybe they could do it again. Dr. Porkchop in his I'm Still Here Alpine. I think I raced that at Spa, and I can confirm, straight line, it is pretty sad. But in the corners everywhere else, it's literally that photo of SpongeBob, like, being so small and so wimpy, and then all of a sudden he is just like a powerhouse. It's like, what? Because that thing is damning in the corners.
Yeah, it's pretty quick, and luckily for the Alpine, there are lots of corners, just the long main straight, really, apart from that little bit of a back straight into the heavy braking zone at turn 8. Andres Mostachero looking to match the time set by Diego and see if he can join him on the second row of the grid. When the 105 BMW rounding out the final corner, it is pedal to the floor as he comes to the line. 4.5 minutes left in the GT4 session. Very quick session here, as he goes above Diego and takes that 4th place away.
As Neil would say, he's not scraping the wall. That's the problem. He's losing time by not scraping the wall. That's what every time I was at Indy, that's what Neil would tell me to do. Neil would tell me to lose paint off the left side and hit that wall. What can Rally Dutchy do? Will Rally Dutchy touch the wall? No, he won't, but he will come across the line for a time that puts him ahead of Dr. Porkchop and about 2 other people, and that's about it.
He goes into the top 10 behind Jacob Church, behind Sam Warden in the 2 Camaros. Justin Beachley reclaims, or I should say claims, provisional pole after the second round of laps from the GT4. So you've got the AMG leading the Camaro. Morico still in 3rd. Andres and Diego Mostachero 4th and 5th. Joe Chericola in 6th. Brian DeSantiago in the 777 in 7th place. Then Sam Warden in 8th. Jacob Church 9th. Then Rally Dutchy here looking for an improvement from 10th. Dr. Porkchop in 11th. Tyler Asherle in 12th, and Hezzy Thomas in 13th place. With 3 and a bit minutes left on the board, it is very crucial to get these laps in as time is running out.
Interesting. Eric is probably really happy right about now.
Seeing the AMGs at the front?
Yeah, seeing his most perfected AMG up at the top here.
Oh yeah, and from the chat it says that the Alpine's got 25 kilos of ballast on board, so that'll really disadvantage the Alpine, right? Yeah, through the corners, carrying all that extra weight. Hopefully won't impact the Doctor too much and he can fight for a decent spot in the top 10. Andres able to improve his time on that last lap, but can't improve his position from 4th.
Sorry, a goalie goal was almost scored, and I almost cried a little bit, but that is Maple Leaf hockey for you. Let's see what the first name recommended Tyler can do. He can move up 2 spots, but that is about it. Not much he can do. Dr. Porkchop, move up 1 spot.
Takes that place right back.
No, sir, you cannot have that.
And with Justin Beachley out on provisional pole, still out on track, looking to make this a statement lap and get a few tenths clear of the field. Ilpo Ruotsalainen back in the pits, so the 204 Camaro will not be able to improve from second place. So Justin Beachley to the line here, and he does get an improvement, does move about 2 tenths clear of Ruotsalainen, who is sat in the pits. So it is now down to the rest of the drivers out on track to deliver their qualifying times with 1 minute to go in the GT4 session.
I think the only one that could beat him is Ilpo, and Ilpo's in the pits. So yeah, Yatanashi and the 2 Mustacaderos are just gonna fight out for P3 now. Rally Dutchy, I love Rally Dutchy, but I don't think he's gonna make 2.4 seconds off this next lap. Unless he somehow has like God tier grip all of a sudden.
Yeah, and this lap certainly won't be valid as he runs a little bit, he ran a little bit deep into that braking zone, so that invalidated that, but he does get the wall tap. Crucially, got the wall tap speed boost down the straight here. And so with that momentum, can Rally Dutchy move up higher in the top 10?
So I'm just pointing this out now because, oh, that's Hezzy Thomas probably maybe invalidating?
Indeed.
Okay, I don't think he's going to cross the line.
Call that a curse. Right as the camera tuned in, going off track.
Yeah, I think I'm going to curse a lot of people because I'm the broadcast. So I'm pointing this out now for concerns I'm going to have later. And I'll point it out once Mirko has done their lap, as they are going to be the only person that can be. I don't think they're. The time's getting closer. Mirko will not improve. 10th down on their best time. No, it doesn't look like anyone else is legal at the moment. Or at least nobody important. Yeah, everyone's just doing entry keys to the pits. Beluga's connection is the worst I have seen in all my days.
It was like that in the rookies, but looking from the camera and stuff, it was pretty stable and reliable all night long. Oh, Rally Dutchy invalidating the lap. So that will be the GT4 session done. Unless Dr. Porkchop made it to the line before he crossed the line. He's getting intermingled with a bit of GT3 traffic here. So hopefully for him, he will be able to avoid getting those overtakes.
He is getting GT3 traffic screwed. So he has got to cross the line and pretty much get the out of the way instantly. However, everyone else behind him is going to get a sick-ass tow. Or at least the car right behind him, which I do believe is the 3. Oh my god, look how hard it catches up.
Yeah, there you can really see the speed boost as Dr. Porkchop comes to the line, not able to improve his lap time. So that is the GT4 field set. And we move on to the GT3s. Thanks, Moriko. Welcome to the podium. You know what visiting the podium is like, but you're there for almost a year.
Almost, no, Pat. Almost.
It's almost a year. It's more than that. It's been 29 months, Moriko. What are you talking about?
29. That's 24 plus 5. That's almost 2.5 years. Almost a year. Yeah, that's bold right there. That's bold. Bold to say it right there. That's almost as bold as me saying Aston Martin's going to be the greatest constructor in the F1 in 2026.
You heard it here first.
I was about to say, someone's got receipts now, at least if that occurs.
Yeah, well, it'll be on YouTube in about a few hours' time, and it'll be on there forever. As Sarah Liu goes out to finish her first flying lap in the GT3s, won the first 2 rounds. Round 1 in dominating fashion. Round 2 had to work a little bit harder for it with Neil Kerbel chasing her down the entire way. And unlike the GT4s, these GT3 cars do have tire blankets. And so, To the line goes Sarah. A 35.897 will be the time to chase for the rest of the field.
Ooh, we got a hype train going, actually.
Hype train, hype train!
Marco says, I'm surprised I got P3 for tonight's race. Marco, don't worry, you'll get taken out in turn 1. It won't matter.
No, Tyler, no jinxing.
Oh, Hezzy wants a full onboard of Sarah after this.
We sure can.
I think when she gets around for her next lap, we'll do that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'll keep an eye on her in the meantime. I'll let you know when she's getting into the final turn.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Oh, hello, someone's in the grass. Professor Chronotis, I raced with him on Tuesdays in DRL. He's a little bit interesting, I'll say that. Finds himself P4. Not too bad behind you. Kerbal also not too far behind Sarah.
Whoops.
That is
as always. The cars cross the line and then they change position, and so I end up clicking to a car that's in the pits. I was trying to get to Henriksen here in the 543 as he just crossed the line. In the lone GT3 BMW on the grid tonight, he is up in the top 5 currently, looking to chase the 2 Ferraris ahead of him on the front row.
And Sarah is now approaching turn 1.
And here we go, on board with Sarah into turn 1. Very heavy over the curbs, but the Lexus seems very well set up to be able to take the curbs at 1 and 2. Carrying a lot of speed into turn 4, sweeping it around. Hard on the power into turn 5, flat through here, getting the car set up for the hairpin at turn 6. A little bit deep into the first part, but because of that, she's able to take the late apex and get the line ready for turn 7 for this small back straight. But it is a crucial part of the lap to gain some lap time, sweeping back over to the right-hand side of the track before the braking zone, braking right around that second board on the right, avoiding the curb on the inside this time through turn 8. A lot of curb through 9, sweeping to the left at 10, opening up turn 11 before it opens on to the speedway. Turn number 2 on the speedway. But turn number 13, braking zone here at the road course. Hard on the brakes, down to second, to the right, before applying the brakes once again. Very tight left-hander, and that is the last time she will apply the brakes before going hard on the gas to the right-hand side, avoiding the wall on the right like a pro. To the line, will this be an improvement at the top? Almost just a few hundredths off of her provisional pole time, but still has the time at the top. Neil Kerbal, though, has the exact same time, but Sarah set her lap time first.
I was just about to say they have somehow done the exact same time in the exact same machinery. That is insane. The only way that could get even more insane is if we had 3 people having the same lap time. And also, from reading the chat, our keyboard warrior is no longer the keyboard warrior.
Hey!
He's got a controller.
Let's go! Congrats, Hezzy.
With my, no, there is no hypercars in this. This is ACC, so we have GT3s and GT4s.
Yeah, and then there's also the GT2s, which is another category. There's the Huracan STs, the Ferrari Challenge, the BMW M2s. So yeah, this is strictly GT racing.
I actually relate to Hezzy's comment because with my injury right now to my core, I can't use my wheel, so I'm stuck using a controller as well. I used it Tuesday night for a wet Red Bull ring race, and actually not too bad. So I'm no one talks about the Ferrari Challenge yet. No one talk about the Ferrari Challenge. I will curse you.
They suck. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. The brakes are quite long in the Ferrari challenges. You have to brake quite a significant distance shorter than you would in the GT3s. Kevin Yu once again to the line, can't get an improvement in the lead Ferrari on the grid, but only third is the highest Kevin Yu is starting here at the moment.
Jim Reynolds, what can you do?
Nearly makes it 4 Ferraris in a row.
Oh, you're right. That is so close. Oh, my. Because then it would be Lexus, Ferrari. Okay. I guess Jim Reynolds is done.
Seems like it.
You can't go that way, sir. You can't just take the speedway. Unfortunately. Can you imagine just Joker lap? You just get to go through the speedway the entire time?
Chrono's going slowly, getting himself ready to start his final push lap with under a minute left. This is now the time for all the drivers to get in their laps. Sarah Liu in the pits. So
just leave
first, yeah, that'll just leave Neil Kerbel to try and improve in his Lexus.
That is a very nice Lexus. Very colorful. I wonder if Dean Stefani's giving him a tow, or if this is actually not helping Kerbel at all. Because he is getting really close to Stefani right now.
Yeah, the gap is fairly close between them, but I think it's just wide enough for Neil to be able to capitalize on the slipstream, what little he might get down this start-finish straight. And let's just wait and see if he gets one.
Alignment time. This is going to be the lap. If this is going to be the lap to defeat Sarah, this is going to be it right here. Oh, it's not. Ah, he missed out by like 0.04 of a second. It's not going to be good enough. What about the 666? What about the Devil, Miguel Cizaron? No extra time. All he needed was 2 thousandths, and he would have gotten to at least tie Jim Reynolds, but he is stuck in B8. Next across the line is going to be the number 5 of Beluga. There's probably some improvement he can find, probably maybe half a second if I'm going to guess off the top of my brain.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I was right. I was about to say, that was about half a second. Professor Chronotis needs 0.2 to get himself up a place to get ahead of Zerline. And he will find
Check.
that. He will get ahead. I was about to say, holy crap, I'm getting them right this week.
Yeah, call it a curse.
Like, bam, it's on point today.
Yeah, it's a prediction or a curse, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Tyler returning back to the booth for the first time in a while, and he hasn't missed a beat at all. Let's see how he does with the GT4 starting grid.
All right, so what do we have for the GT4 starting grid? We have Justin Beachley in that Beach GT, Eric's favorite car, the Mercedes AMG GT4 on pole position. He is going to have last week's race winner Ilpo Ristolainen for company, the finish in the Creme de la Course 204. That is such a nice car with the accents. And on the second row, starting off, we have Mirko Yantanashi in the 9-tail Racing Ginetta. They are all about the Ginettas and the rookies for some reason this season. Then you have Andreas in the North American Peruvian Sim Team 105. And behind him is, I do believe, his brother, Diago, in the Naps Team Aston Martin, number 44. Keeping him for company is Joe Saracola in the Baby Williams Racing, another Mercedes AMG. Eric is just like, right now. Next on the next row is Brian De Santiago in the 777. He's not somehow sandbagging or being not very good at this race, so I'll give him props to that. Then he's got Sam Warden for company in the Mighty Putty Racing. Some rookies, graduates here on this row. Then you have Tyler Ashrell, sorry if I butchered that, buddy, in the V8 Racing. Oh my god, we have just nothing but Camaros down here.
It sure is.
So Camaro row. We have the Ferraris and the GT3s, and then we have the Camaros and the GT4s. You have Jacob Church in the one Bigley Camaro. That car is just a visual effects nightmare. Then you got Rally Dutchy 23rd in the 9-tail Racing 621 Ginetta. And rounding out the back final three is Dr. Porkchop in the Chop Shop Racing, number 71 Alpine, and the final row, Paki Kwan, number 10 in that Porsche GT4, and then rounding out the back, the Controller Warrior, number 59 in that Dog Box Racing KTM, Hezzy Thomas.
That's the GT4 field. Here is the GT3s. As it has been all season long, Sarah Liu starts out from the front row. The number 310 Denso Storm Chasers Lexus has Neil Kerbel, who is improving week by week, able to match the lap time in qualifying. But Sarah set her lap time first, so she gets pole. But Neil starting on the front row in the 395 SimSense Syndicate Lexus. Behind you have a gaggle of Ferraris mixed in with a McLaren. First, you've got Kevin Yu in the number 95, starting from third place. Behind him is that McLaren of Dean Stefani. The number 77 Green Light Racing McLaren starts next to him on the second row. Professor Chronotis starts in the top 5 in the, number 42 Ferrari. It's an all Ferrari third row with Brian Zerline next to him in the number 25. Then you've got Jim Reynolds in the 313 BJ Racing Ferrari starting from 7th place. The very colorful Aston Martin of Miguel Cicerone of Cicerone Racing, the 666, will start from 8th place. Then in 9th, you have Vegard Henriksen in the 543 Raceforge Esports Lone BMW GT3. Good to see a Nissan being represented by Mach Speed in the Speed 145. I hope I got the number of E's right there. He rounds out the top 10 of the GT3s. Behind him, Devin Anthony in the Noobs Are Us 664 Porsche. And behind him, the sister Porsche of Vladimir Beluga in the number 5 Beluga Racing Team.
Apparently Hezzy wants an onboard with him so we can see his controller movements.
We'll get to that at some point. Don't let me forget.
I won't let you forget. I'll set a reminder for like 40 minutes. As long as the action hopefully isn't close.
Yes. For the race start, we'll start with the outboards. And then as soon as there's a little bit of a break, Hezzy, we will get right to you. We can get a little sneak peek of how it looks for the time being. Oh. Going into the wall.
Oh, that hurts the core. Oh, ow. I just like it was sneak peek how it looks. He just goes right into the wall.
Well, that's just how it goes sometimes.
Oh my God, Hezzy, please. You're gonna send me back to the ER if you're gonna do crap. You're gonna do stuff like that. I can confirm that is what it does look like on the controller. It's not as bad as the keyboard, but like it's still just as.
Yeah, it's not going from 0 to 100%. So there is a little bit more of a a little bit more, how do you call it, sensitivity in the inputs rather than just from 0 to 100. But here we go, the grid lining up in zipper formation, just a few corners left of the formation lap to go. Sarah Liu leads the way in the GT3s. Justin Beachley in the AMG GT4 will start from provisional pole in his field. Ilpo gonna chase down a second win in a row, and can Sarah Liu make it 3-4-3 with a Lexus front row, lots of Ferraris chasing, who will lead into turn number 1. And the green flag waves. The field is ready to go. They start fanning out 3 wide at the back, nearly 4, as Sarah Liu gets a really good jump on Neil Kerbel. Has the inside into turn 1. Will Neil Kerbel be brave around the outside? No, just not quite brave enough around the outside to hold it there. And there's chaos in the back of the GT3s. It looks like both Porsches got involved, Devin Anthony and Beluga, which allowed Ilpo to take advantage and take the lead of the GT4s.
Mightily unfortunate for Beachley. Beachley kind of getting caught in that instance. Kind of unfortunate for him. He's going to have to work himself out as he's going to have to pass, I do believe, another car that got by him as well. don't know who that is, but that's sometimes what you get at race starts. You'll get those moments. And the pit window's open if you need to change or fix those repairs.
Yeah, 50-minute race ahead, one pit stop in between. More on that later. Kevin Yu looking to stay close to the two Lexuses, the Lexis, battling for the top spot. Sarah Liu still leading the way after completing most of the first lap here, but it's side by side between the pair of them. Neil Kerbel trying to fight it around the outside. He's going to have the inside for the final corner. Sarah Liu is going to have to back out of it. She might be seeing a wall around the outside, and it is going to be very tight going into turn one. But for now, Neil Kerbel takes the lead of the GT3. Sarah Liu tucking into the slipstream. Same with Kevin Yu. She goes to the inside and into the braking zone. Neil Kerbel leaves a bit of room to the inside. May have been a little bit of contact. Kevin Yu sweeping to the inside, tries to take advantage, but he can't quite do that. And Neil Kerbel now comfortable ahead after the first few corners, needs to stay ahead with Sarah Liu and Kevin Yu battling hard behind now too.
Oh, what a beautiful move there by Kerbel to force Sarah to give him position on the track, not to give any space whatsoever on a turn one. Beachley desperately trying to crawl back into P1 of the GT4s, but he's got to deal with Andres up ahead in that friggin' wide BMW. It always, for some reason, you got to be careful on the grass there. Coming back on that grass will cause your car to be unsettled. You got Muraco, got a whole bunch of company behind, defending on the inside from Saracola, taking a little bit of the curve. So did Saracola, but so far Muraco will hold on to, I do believe at the current moment, P4 in the GT4. But there's a lot of company behind them. A lot.
Yeah, and in fact, it's Diego Mostachero who looks like he wants the overtake past Joe Chericola, but Chericola defending very well right in the middle of the track, not allowing the Aston to go one way or another. And then behind, you've got some GT3 cars coming. That is the Nissan of Mach Speed getting a little bit out of shape after that lap one incident. But nonetheless, Ilpo leads the way in the GT4s. Andres is next, but under pressure from Justin Beachley, looking to recover after taking provisional pole. Then you've got the trio of Moriko Yatanashi, Joe Chericola, and Diego Mostachero. Joe Chericola deep on the brakes, able to avoid the Ginetta, but doing so allows the Aston Martin to go side by side through turn two. And in these sweeping corners, the inside turns to the outside very quickly, and Chericola is at a disadvantage, looking to get the over-under. Diego in the 44 takes the position and looking to defend now from the number 9 AMG.
I think, did Beachley get ahead of Andreas there?
You sure did.
He did get him into turn one. I thought I saw that. And now they got the Nissan GT3 for company, which I like the line that it's taking. It is just staying the actual FOA. It's gonna take the inside though, so you got a little bit of a GT3 on GT4 overtake there. Is he stuck behind the GT3, I think, or GT4? Oh no, he got ahead. Barely, but he got ahead.
Yeah.
And that is that's the 666 of Cicerone who's at the spin. He's now fallen all the way to the back of the grid.
Yeah, luckily he had a good gap there to get the car back in the correct direction. So he is back up and rolling from 10th place now, I believe, in the GT3s, or 9th place, with Kevin Yu still applying the pressure to Sarah Liu. Neil Kerbel has checked out 2.8 seconds as they cross the start-finish line. The gap between the lead Lexus and Sarah Liu's Lexus in second place. Under pressure, though, from Kevin Yu in the number 95 Ferrari. Very late on the brakes into turn 6. But Sarah Liu has the grip through the corner to maintain her position.
Xander, we don't talk about the 4-wide into GT. We don't talk about the 4-wide situation like last season. We don't talk about that. I don't want to remember that as Mirko is doing their damnedest to try and get into a podium position in the GT4. They just got to get through Andreas first.
Oh!
And speak of thine, and they shall appear. This is going to allow, this is going to result in a 4-wide kind of mingle 2x2 situation, as Mirko is going to find, the Janetta's a sitting duck here. The Janetta's getting swarmed. An Aston, a BMW, a Mercedes all surround the Janetta. We're going to have 2x2x2 for the podium position, and that is going to be Diego taking the podium spot from Mirko after the contact from Mirko and Andreas. There's now 6 cars fighting for P3 now.
Yeah, there's 5 cars in the GT4s, I do believe, and then there's the GT3 there of Devin Anthony going to the inside, trying to make up those positions as quickly as possible, but also doesn't want to get involved in any battles here. And so Andres Mostachero loses the podium, but now Diego Mostachero has that position after the contact with Morico in the Ginetta. There's Devin Anthony in the purple and green Porsche. The main straight, a great place for this overlap to happen, and into turn number 1. It doesn't look like he's quite close enough to the front 2 to be able to get ahead just yet.
Holy jumping. It's like Mirko made the contact. Dr. Porkchop is going to be in the pits as well. Mirko made the contact and kind of didn't want to take it like that, so they slowed up, but that allowed Diego, Siracola, pretty much everyone else that was behind to get involved in that situation. So, a little unfortunate for Mirko that they couldn't take a hold of the position naturally. But now, oh my goodness, Mirko's trying to find the inside.
Yeah, really trying to force their way back into that podium position after starting from 3rd on the grid, trying to recover back to the position that they started. But it's going to be a tricky battle with this Mostachero sandwich that is happening at the moment. Diego in front, Andres behind. No, it's not Andres behind. There's been an incident between him and Joe Chericola. Brian DeSantiago now slips up to 5th place. Or excuse me, 4th place. No, 5th place. Yes, 5th place in the GT4s. And Mostachero drops back behind the sister BMW. Asherle gets ahead of Chericola, and Chericola now dropping back all the way to 8th place.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. A podium position not 2 laps ago, and now he's fighting in the backfield of GT4. That is tough. That is how the cookie crumbles, but that is very, very tough.
Yeah, it certainly is, and unfortunately a little too far back to go see exactly what happened there. But knowing the pace of Andres and Joe Chericola, they will be back fighting for these top 5 positions come the end of the race. There is still that pit stop to consider as well in the middle, with a 25-second fixed refueling time, and then it is up to the drivers if they want to add 5 seconds to that time and take fresh tires during their pit stop. So it is still a game of strategy, but with the track being hot, I can't imagine any of the drivers will want to make one set last for the entirety of the 50 minutes.
I was about to say, it is blisteringly hot. Also, hello, boss. Oh, Sarah's gone deep. Can she keep it on the track? She can. Ow, that hurts. Sarah's gotten a lot closer to Neil Kerbel. Neil's got to be protecting his tires or trying to save on fuel or something. Because he, as you and I had both seen, he was checked out 2.8 seconds.
Yeah, he really was. It could have been a matter as a drive-through gets awarded to Mach Speed for speeding in the pit lane. A little bit too much speed there as he crosses the pit limiter line and being given a drive-through penalty. But yeah, like you were saying, the gap was pretty far from Neil to Sarah, but perhaps maybe Sarah just getting a little bit involved with the Ferrari behind, trying to protect the position and not so much worried about the pace at the moment. But now having dropped the Ferrari by about a second, can now focus on the Lexus out in front.
Lexus dominate. Ooh, Mirko right on the back of Diego, looking for that final podium position, but just cannot seem to find it. Cannot seem to find that little bit of extra space and time to try and even think of a move. Mirko on the inside now, though. Thankfully, the Aston gets better grip. Mirko just making that Ginetta look absolutely massive in the mirror. Diego's going to try and defend just what they're both swapping places, it seems, as Mirko's going to go for the late break dive up the inside. Diego's going to keep it swept around the outside. Outside will become the in a lot at Indy. So a perfect position for Diego to stay at. Diego defends it quite nicely. Mirko will have to try in another place.
Yeah, just can't quite get side by side enough into the braking zone. The Ginetta just lacking the speed compared to the Aston down that little back straight between turns 7 and 8. But you're seeing it here. The Ginetta just has so much grip through the corners, but it can't go anywhere because Diego is parking his car so perfectly to not allow any sort of positional gain for Morrico out on track. And while these two are battling, it has allowed Justin Beachley, Diego's out in front of Morrico, and Ilpo Ruotsalainen to get ahead of these two by about 10 seconds.
Like, look how much more grip that Ginetta has out of the corners. Like, it's just insane. Like, it's honestly, like, the difference in grip in the corners from the Alpine to the Aston is pretty big. But as long as Diego can just keep that Aston Martin really, really massive, he should be able to defend in the straights just fine. It's for Mirko, it's all about exits. As long as Mirko can get a better exit than Diego, then maybe, just maybe, Mirko has a chance. But right now, Mirko's stuck behind this Aston that is about as wide as an 18-wheeler.
Yeah, it is getting super wide, and the no-touchy on the back, discouraging Morrico from getting any closer than they dare. But trying desperately to get side by side with the Aston into any of the braking zones. But once again, out of the exits, the Aston just gets to its top speed very quickly and just doesn't allow the Ginetta to close in where it matters. Morrico might be perhaps thinking of an undercut here to try and just get into some clean air and put in those laps as Diego making a mistake, though.
Oh, Diego's just going to park that car. Mirko didn't seem to care about the no-touchy rule when it came to Andreas. What is it going to say about Diego? The Ginetta just can't do anything. Even with a slipstream, there's not much Mirko can do, except maybe go heavily late on the brakes, but Mirko just elects not to do that and just stay behind, even with a mistake by Diego going deep into the second final corner. That Aston just gets away so much faster than the Ginetta. There's nothing Mirko can do as Mirko is sliding all over the place. That dirty air becoming a huge factor for the Ginetta right now.
Yeah, and going deep into turn 6, where we've seen Morrico have a lot of grip compared to the Aston. This is one of the better opportunities for them to go side by side out of 6 and into 7. But then again, the track just falls into the hands of the Aston with that straight coming in between. And now the gap opening up to around a second to give Diego Mosachero a bit of breathing room from Morrico Yatanashi.
We've got some intermingling now. The GT3 leaders coming up on the GT4s here. This might prove interesting. Maybe a change of the lead, perhaps.
And here is that lead GT3, the Lexus of Neil Kerbel, overlapping with, I believe that was one of the Camaros behind. Sarah Liu getting through as well, as these two continue to fight on the pit stop might become very crucial here. And as Mike Noss always says, practice those pit stops. It can really, really impact your race. And here Neil Kerbel going through Andres Mostachero in the GT4. Now down the start-finish straight, it looks like advantage goes to Neil Kerbel, with Sarah Liu dropping back to about 1.5 seconds.
Down the inside goes Sarah, actually, so hopefully they made that overtake well. Professor Carnotis is stuck currently behind Dean Stefani, another former DRL alumni, currently ahead of Professor Carnotis. And Professor has been staying within a second for most of the time, but just can't seem to find a way ahead of the McLaren.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at that gap. It kind of fluctuates anywhere from 0.5 second to 2 seconds between the Ferrari and the McLaren. So perhaps here, as they come on to that GT4 field, as you were saying, perhaps that little bit of overlap between the two fields allowing the Professor to get closer, as here we see Dean Stefani getting stuck behind the battling duo of Joe Chericola and Tyler Asherle. Joe Chericola trying to fight through, but he can't, with Dean Stefani and both Professor Carnotis now going through at turn number 11.
I know Stefani's going to get past, but can Professor Carnotis get past? It looks like he will, yes. They've both gotten past that Camaro that... Is there hood? Chericola a little deep. The hood of that Camaro up ahead of Tyler might be a little bit askew. Also, Ilpo's in the pits.
Yeah, Ilpo pits from the lead of the GT4, so that will give Beachley clean air in front to put in that lap time really when it counts here. And so Joe Chericola, unfortunately, after the two GT3s went through, a bit further gap to Tyler Asherle in front, but Miguel Cicerone, after his spin earlier on, closing down on Brian Zerline for 8th place. Will the Aston make a move here into turn 1? He's lining it up into the braking zone. The Ferrari seems to be comfortably ahead going into the apex, and it sure is. Cicerone just has to stay back here in that colorful Aston Martin. We'll have to try and get that move done somewhere else throughout the lap, as these two get closer and closer to Jim Reynolds, getting through the Alpine of Dr. Porkchop, approaching turn number 6.
We have Ferrari on Ferrari/Aston violence here approaching, as Jim Reynolds is seemingly struggling with the GT4 traffic. Oh my goodness, look at the slipstream effect by Zerline. Zerline thinking about an inside move late on the brakes, forcing themselves there. And that is a double overtake maybe. Oh, they're gonna go side by side through the infield chicane section. And the Aston and the Ferrari both past Jim Reynolds.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, if you kind of get offline in that specific complex at turn 8, 9, and 10, and we saw it there with Jim Reynolds, he was thrown offline for the first part with the Ferrari of Brian Zerline going clean through. All Cicerone had to do was just stick to the racing line and not allow Jim Reynolds back any space. And so he just closed right in and took full advantage. Unfortunately for Jim Reynolds, losing 2 positions there on that lap, with Zerline and Cicerone advancing to 7th and 8th place. They are chasing down the BMW of Henriksen about 10 seconds up the road, who himself has about a 6.5 second gap to Professor Carnotis, trying to fight his way past the McLaren of Stefani still.
We're gonna have a Hesse Thomas appearance, and just like that, no more. Professor Carnotis trying desperately to... Oh! Random dog box racing car leaves. Carnotis still looking, trying to find anything to get past Dean Stefani, but like, Ferrari versus McLaren is almost about even. If it was GT4, then this would be different because there is no GT4 Ferrari.
And Justin Beachley goes into the pits from the GT4 lead. Where will he come out relative to Ilpo Ruotsalainen as this battle for the top 5? Jesus, they are splitting the Aston Martin. Crenot is trying to find the grip through the grass to stay close to the McLaren. Perhaps would have just been better off following the McLaren through the inside, but nonetheless making it work there as they have quite a moment there exiting the final corner down onto the back straight.
Also, Miracle got past. Miracle got past there on Diego. I just realized.
Correct.
I wonder when that happened. Who knows? Don't worry. Mirko's going to spin out and Diego will take it back anyway. Oh, I thought that effect would have been immediate. Never mind. Usually my curses are good. My curses are good if I don't, like, think about them. If I just say it, then it might be better. Oh, Hezzy, you little sly. Okay, Beachley's coming out. Where is Ilpo? Oh my god, Ilpo's on the straight. Oh, this is going to be tight on exit. As Beachley finally gets to go full speed now, it's going to be tight coming out of the pits. It looks like Ilpo may take it. Oh, that's going to be so tight on exit. Oh, they're going to be side by side. And I think Ilpo barely gets ahead by a hair. Oh, that was so much closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that was extremely close. I think Justin Beachley had a huge disadvantage there because he was on absolutely stone cold GT4 tires exiting the pits. Ilpo had a few laps to warm his up, so he had the grip through the slow corners to get the power down as Justin Beachley sliding a little bit, exiting turn 2. Just couldn't get the power down to take the lead back.
Almost a perfect overcut. Oh, so close to being perfect. And this means Mirko is now also coming into the pits. I'm assuming to make sure to keep Diego and Andreas covered off is going to be my best guess.
Yeah, we're approaching that halfway mark of the race. We should be seeing plenty of pit lane activity here. About a third of the field already completing their pit stops. Currently just Jim Reynolds and Moriko Yatanashi in the pits. But we should be seeing plenty more.
Well, you gotta have that mandatory one stop, so someone else is coming into the pits now, and to believe that's going to be the 1-0 of somebody. Somebody's coming into the pits. I don't know who, and I don't know why, and I think Kerbal is going to be one of the people that are coming into the pits.
Indeed, he is.
Sarah is not, though. Sarah is not pitting. So
yeah,
so undercut by Kerbal.
Yeah, we'll see if Sarah can get those clean laps in without any traffic ahead of her. It looks like just the 204 and the 18 ahead for the GT in terms of GT4 traffic for Sarah Liu, but needs to get these laps in now while Neil Kerbal is serving his mandatory pit stop. Crucially for Sarah, also pulling a pretty good advantage over Kevin Yu, about 4.5 seconds, closer to 5 now. Lexus ahead of the Ferrari. There we get the halfway mark. Message from our lovely race director, Dean Stefani in the pits, Diego Mostachero in the pits as well in his 44 Aston Martin after responding, I should say, to Moriko Yatanashi pitting on the lap prior.
Interesting to see where Diego comes out. Kerbal's just leaving the pits now. He's just getting into turn 1 now.
And Sarah goes out for another lap with Ilpo under pressure pretty heavily now from Justin Beachley. You can clearly see that AMG getting closer and closer in the braking zones. Ilpo heavy on the curbs. Can't get the grip down effectively. Justin Beachley nearly taking advantage of that mishap from the rear end of the Camaro.
Mirko is going to stay ahead of Diego. Diego's just now getting out of the pits into turn 1 now. Mirko's almost at turn 3. So plenty of space given. And look, there are the leaders of each class. Ignore Beachley. There's the leader of the GT3.
Sarah Liu working her way through the top 2 of the GT4s, trying to not influence the battle one way or another. And yeah, Diego Mostachero, that is, had a slightly slower pit stop than Morico, perhaps fixing a little bit of damage sustained to his Aston Martin while in pit road. Justin Beachley very close here as they exit on to the speedway and into the braking zone of 13, but he's just not close enough to do it yet, perhaps lining it up into turn 1. As Tyler said, one of the best overtaking opportunities around this track.
I would know. I did it against Morico. Actually, no, I don't think I did it against Actually, I think I did. Yeah, it was. With Morico, I'd go into turn 1. And that was more of an accident avoidance than it was an actual overtake. But Beachley, no, I don't think you can do it, Beachley. He's making, that's a lot of curve. That's a lot of curve. That's risking a lot of curve. I genuinely thought he was going to be in the wall. Then, oh, there's a GT3 behind you, folks, that elects to take the grassy knoll versus stay on the track.
So Sarah Liu in the pits. That's Rally Dutchy behind Professor Chronotis in the pits as well. Where will the Lexus come out relative to the sister car of Neil Kerbel, who goes through the final sector now? Sarah Liu getting dropped already. This might be advantage for the 310.
The pit lane, speed allowance, when you can finally speed, is very, very deep down in there. I'll let you know when Sarah's gone.
So here's Kerbel crossing the start-finish line now. Sarah Liu still at a crawling pace down the pits, and it looks like Neil Kerbel gets through before the braking zone of turn 1.
The undercut once again proves the most powerful. The undercut works like a charm. Ooh, watch out, Rally Dutchy. There is a car there, and so far Neil Kerbel will take back the lead. Justin Beachley still desperately looking for a way down the inside. Will he have found it here? He's going to take the inside. Contact is made. However, Ilpo looks like he's going to retain the position. The inside comes the out though. Maybe Beachley thinks about the move into turn 3. More contact is made. But still, Ilpo will hold on. Turn 1 was the opportunity for Beachley. Now he's got to rethink this game plan. Where else could I maybe get Ilpo? Because Ilpo is just producing a masterclass of defense.
Yeah, he sure is. Perhaps on that last lap, Justin Beachley was just calculating exactly how much curb he could take to throw that move down the inside of turn 1, and he nearly pulled it off. But after going heavily down the curbs on the inside of turn 1, the car bouncing all over the place and just can't get the power down as effectively as he would like. And the Camaro on that optimal racing line, able to hang on to the lead of the GT4s. But Justin Beachley is not going to give it up easy. Still 20 minutes left in the race for the AMG to throw a move on the Camaro in front.
He's just got to get a better exit through this section here. If he can just get a better exit, then Ilpo, he'll have another chance. But that exit is going to be key. And keeping in the slipstream is going to be another important key. Here comes Beachley. That slipstream keeping him closer and closer, inch by inch, millimeter by millimeter. There goes Beachley again with another move down the inside, taking the curve, drifting across. Finally looks like he's made that move for the lead of the GT4s. Is Ilpo gonna have something to say about it? Not in the immediate term. Beachley finally gets that move and is now looking to try and get away from the Camaro of Ilpo, but it doesn't look like he's gonna get very far.
No, certainly not, and Ilpo's not going to give it up easy. Welcome back to the podium, Clutch Racing. After 2 years, you're still on the podium, and that was a nice move indeed. These two have battled it out over multiple seasons, so we know these two know exactly how to race each other. And Justin Beachley goes deep onto the grass, allows the Camaro to the inside, contact, side by side, Ilpo goes through!
Oh, heartbreak. Honestly, the GT3 might have spooked Beachley. That's what at least I'm gonna think to believe. Because Beachley was running fine, then the GT kind of cut across, and that might have scared Beachley. Now Beachley's gotta do it again. But the thing is now is that Ilpo knows what Beachley's plan is. And I think Beachley says, I don't care, I'm about to do it again. Here it comes, folks. Are we gonna have take number 3? Beachley is 1 for 2 on turn 1 overtakes. Is he gonna be 2 for 3? Ilpo goes deep with him. And defended well by Ilpo. 1 for 3 for Beachley on turn 1 overtakes.
Yeah, 2-1 Ilpo. We'll see if that changes.
We're gonna have a best of 7.
Yeah, we're gonna have a best of 7 at turn 1. So far, after those moves, yeah, Ilpo able to hang on 2 out of the 3 times, and Justin Beachley just not deep enough into the brakes to cut across the Camaro to not allow him back onto the racing line. And through this midfield section, they seem very evenly matched. Absolutely nothing separating these two, and there is some more GT3 cars approaching, so perhaps now Justin Beachley will get the benefit from that overlap.
That was very exciting to watch. When they get back to turn 1, I need to see if Beachley goes again for another overtake.
Oh, we sure will. I just wanted a quick update on these GT3s. Yeah, Chronotis got through Alan Dean Stefani through the pit lane. So once again, the undercut proving very effective here at Indianapolis.
Effective indeed, actually. Very good job. Oh my God, they're gonna go to it again. The GT3s are gonna get involved. Beachley now takes the lead in the GT4s. This hurts the hernia so bad.
Yeah, Tyler, you might need to stop watching just to not pick up an injury here.
Let's see. Let's see if Ilpo goes for the turn 1 dive. The roles have been reversed here. So wait, if Ilpo gets the dive, does that make it 3-1 Ilpo?
You know, I don't think that counts. Well, he does go deep indeed, but he doesn't quite have the overtaking opportunity there as Justin Beachley had on the previous laps. And as we tuned away from this battle, the GT3 field certainly getting involved with Ilpo and Justin Beachley going side by side through turn 14 and 15, and now allowing the AMG to retake the lead of the GT4s.
Yes, Sander, best of 7 might be just a hair tiny bit too soon, but like, it was the best analogy I could think of at that moment. It honestly just was. It was the perfect analogy because Beachley had been doing it over and over and over each lap. Ooh, the Ferrari was thinking about maybe cutting ahead of Beachley there, but elected to not. So, stuck behind a GT4 right now is the GT3 of a Ferrari. I do not know who that is. That's
Yes, Zerline's in the red and yellow Ferrari, then Jim Reynolds is in the navy and yellow Ferrari here alongside the Camaro, looking to go through. Oh, and there's contact between the GT3 and the GT4. Justin Beachley going onto the grass heavily through the gravel and exiting onto turn 15. Ilpo gets the lead back after Jim Reynolds going very deep into turn 13 and taking the GT4 with him.
Tisk, tisk, Mr. Jim Reynolds, tisk, tisk. I saw that. I think you and I, Kuja, can agree. We both saw that coming from where he was braking a mile away.
Yeah, just as soon as he got on the brakes, the car was wiggling around all over the place. So perhaps just not settled as he goes into the braking zone and just having to plow through. And unfortunately for Justin Beachley, just an innocent bystander once again, just not having any luck in the AMG this season.
Yeah, that's gotta be tough for Beachley. This is gonna be one of those things where, like, in NASCAR, the driver gets pissed and another driver hops out of the car and they go to fight each other in the pit lane. This might be one of those instances where Beachley needs to have a
I did the exact same thing except silent.
Where it grit the teeth and just
Yep.
Yeah, Beachley might have to have a conversation with Jim Reynolds after that. That Alpine looks like it's been put through the ringer. That Alpine looks like it's been put through the dirt, beat up, and then just put back out on the track to just finish the job.
But it's always good to see the determination of the drivers wanting to see the checkered flag at the end of the race, no matter the position. And these two are fighting for a decent spot in the GT4 field. This is for a spot in 6th and 7th place between Brian DeSantiago and Joe Chericola here in the number 9 AMG. After those two also had a bit of misfortune come their way at the beginning of the race, looking to bounce back with a strong finish. 12 minutes remain in round number 3 around Indianapolis. Still lots of positions undecided here. Lots to play for.
Clutch Racing, what was uncalled for? The Alpine hate, or the thing about or the conversation that's probably going to happen later between Jim Reynolds and Beachley?
Yeah, I believe that was in response to the Ferrari going deep into the braking zone.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh, hello. Oh, I thought that was Kerbal there for a minute. Nope, that is Netta of Miraco. Kerbal not that far up the road.
Yeah, Sarah doing a very good job of closing the gap. It was around 4.5 seconds after she exited the pits, going wide onto the grass, but the traction control kicking in very well, keeping the Lexus pointed in a straight line. But yeah, closing the gap down very effectively to right around 2.1 seconds to the lead Lexus of Neil Kerbal. 10 minutes to go. And as we have seen before, the overlap between the GT3s and the GT4s can lead to some trouble. Will we see that for the GT3 leaders, or will they avoid the fate of Justin Beachley and Ilpo Ruotsalainen battling for the GT4 lead?
Maybe. Who knows? Definitely a thought. Santiago has gotten ahead of Cericola. Now looking to try and get Andreas up ahead. Little bit behind. Oh, there's an, I think they're fighting with a Porsche Aluga as well up there. So this could get interesting. Maybe, maybe not. Santiago's got to pick up the pace a little bit. Come on, Santiago. Get that car that's ahead. Ilpo ahead of Beachley. We all know how he got ahead. But can Beachley make this a fight in the final 9 minutes to go? We are in the bottom of the 9th inning. Can Beachley can Beachley, like the Dodgers, perform a miracle?
Yeah, we'll see if that series going into turn 1 will start up again. But Justin Beachley now carrying a little bit of damage to his AMG, certainly after that contact with the Ferrari. Perhaps costing him a little bit of time and confidence, but it does look like he's closing into the back of Ilpo Ruotsalainen, so we might see this battle pick right back up here in the next few laps.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
I do think the damage that Beachley has might prevent him from getting at least as close as he probably wants to. Sarah's race streak coming into an end, though, it looks like. Kerbal looking to take another race, GT3 race win out of the hat. He did win on Tuesday at the Red Bull Ring. So.
Oh, and this is a great shot. The GT4 leaders up ahead here. The GT3 leaders approaching. The two Lexuses coming up to Justin Beachley. And then Ilpo Ruotsalainen in front. Contact between Sarah Liu and Justin Beachley. The two drivers in second place in their respective classes. Fighting for track position, and Sarah Liu now going down the inside of 7. Gets that position, but unfortunately for the pair of them, they have both lost a lot of time to the drivers they are chasing out in front.
Crucial tense, Guja, crucial tense. Yeah, that gets me every time. Now Sarah's gonna lose even more time being stuck behind Ilpo. Ooh, down the inside, that's risky. That's risky by Sarah, but they gotta do anything to get to Kerbal. Now this has allowed Beachley even closer. Oh God, the Dodgers are coming back. We're gonna have the best of 7 back on here, it looks like, for turn 1. Someone is gonna be out. Yeah, a lot of people aren't happy. Currently, the entire nation of Canada isn't happy right now with the Dodgers and Dodgers. Can Beachley get anywhere close to Ilpo? It doesn't look like it. The damage, I think, by Beachley's Mercedes AMG given might prove too much for Beachley. Beachley just eats those curbs for lunch.
He's certainly not making it easy for Ilpo out in the lead, having to work for it with 6 and a bit minutes to go. Just a few crucial laps remaining for both of the leaders in the GT3s and the GT4s to stay in front of their rivals. Ilpo sliding through turn 6 on corner exit, trying to get all of the power down through these tires, struggling on a hot track at Indianapolis. This is what the back of Neil Kerbal's car is seeing, with Sarah Liu not too far in the mirrors, getting closer and closer. The gap, 4.5 seconds after the pit stops. Now less than a second between the two leaders of the GT3s as they head onto the speedway. Sarah Liu looking to close that gap down the main straight and looking to fight with the lead Lexus of Neil Kerbal and take back her win streak.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like barring a tragedy, I think Neil's gonna hold on. Oh, Beachley's again. Beachley just gets so close, but it's just not close enough. Unless Beachley's gonna commit a dive from like over 50 feet back. Does not look like it. That Mercedes is bouncing more than, I don't know what it could bounce more. A basketball, I guess? I don't actually know. Name something that bounces.
Bouncy ball.
Sure. We'll go with that. That Mercedes is bouncing more than a bouncy ball.
That's right. And Justin Beachley, we've seen him take that line plenty of times. It just seems like the millimeter you go onto that curb really matters, because sometimes he's able to get the power down very effectively where the back of the car doesn't jump around. But on other occasions, he just takes it that slight little bit of angle off, that slight millimeter too deep, and the car just goes bouncing all over the road, but still hanging on to the back of the bumper, not giving Ilpo any breathing room in the closing 4 minutes of round number 3.
So you can see the two Lexuses. What is a group of Lexus called?
I think we need to do a poll and figure that out, because I don't think anybody knows.
Are they Lexuses? Are they Lexi? Like, someone in the chat, what is a group of Lexus called? Someone need, you know what?
Sorry to interrupt. There's a change for the lead of the GT4s.
Oh
Justin Beachley gets ahead before the braking zone of turn 1. And so Justin Beachley, in the last 3 minutes of the race, makes the series 2-2 in turn 1. But, crucially, has the lead on track in the closing minutes of the race.
They're doing it again. They're coming back again. I could feel the pain in my bones. Oh God, Kerbel's gonna lose this out too now, isn't he? Why is everything that I love falling apart? I'm going through the ringer in this GT4 multi-class, man. It's
not done
insanity.
yet. The murder of Lexus is the murder of Lexus at the front here, trying to settle their debate of who will finish out in front. Will we see 2 more laps, or will it be just 1? It just depends on when Neil Kerbel crosses the line. I think we will see 2 more racing laps here as they cross the line with 1 minute 55 to go. The GT3s do a lap in 1:35. So we will have 20 seconds left for another lap on the board. So 2 more laps for Sarah Liu to try and fight and take first place. But once again, we've seen it from her there, going deep into turn 1 and just can't stay close to the back of Neil Kerbel.
All right, where's Ilpo Beachley at? All right, Beachley, technically the series is tied 2-2. Let's see. Ilpo, is he gonna go for a move here? There is one more. Ilpo's gonna wait. If you're Ilpo, waiting might not be the worst idea. Because if he can get him into turn 1 on the final lap, that might be it. But so far, it looks like it looks like Jonathan Los Angeles Dodgers Beachley is gonna beat out Ilpo Blue Jays. I knew as soon as I made that analogy that Ilpo was gonna somehow lose. Like it's just not fair right now. All right, you know what? This hurts. The injury hurts. Is Stefani gonna get past Chronotis? Maybe. I don't know. Unless there is one more racing lap, and Kerbel has jogged away from Sarah hard. So unless Kerbel completely chokes this, which I really hope he doesn't, because I might cry. He's got that held out. Currently, as it stands, what is up for grabs right now is P4, P5 with Chronotis and Stefani. P1 overall in the GT4s with Beachley and Ilpo. And a few maybe other battles across the track with DeSantiago and Saracola. But this is the moment. This is what we watch for. Is Ilpo, oh, we're gonna have GT3 interference here. Possibly last time we had GT3 interference with Beachley and P1. We all remember how that went. Here it comes, down the inside goes Professor Chronotis, down the inside goes Stefani, but this time it's Ilpo who gets the non-benefit of a GT3 in the side of their car. Beachley says, "It's not my turn to be hit by a GT3 again, it's yours, Ilpo," as Stefani just slams the side of Ilpo. And now Beachley has P1 all to himself.
Not ideal, oof, indeed. And so now Stefani making his way past Justin Beachley. Neil Kerbel goes through the final corner, about 2 seconds ahead of Sarah Liu, and he takes the checkered flag first. That's the first win of the season for Neil Kerbel, and the first non-first place finish for Sarah Liu, but still a strong second place result for the 310. Brian DeSantiago, they're just ahead of Joe Chericola as they cross the line. DeSantiago ahead in the BMW. Kevin Yu crosses the line in third in the number 95 Ferrari. You've got Mach Speed across the checkered flag in 11th place. Kwan in 22nd in the overall in the GT4 Porsche number 10 takes the checkered flag here as the leader of the GT4 Justin Beachley. Topsy-turvy race, battled hard with Ilpo, but he comes out in front. Well done, Justin. Congrats, Ilpo, for another podium finish this season in the 204 Camaro. Chronotis stays in fourth place, able to hold off the charge from Dean Stefani after his contact with, oh my goodness, Rutsalainen in turn one. Moriko Yatanashi rounds out the GT3 podium.
4 podium. You said GT3.
Oh, did I? Whoops, GT4 yep. Podium.
Oh, and that is my reaction too, sir. Straight on. Just straight on into sadness. Chronotis will take P4. Stefani will take P5. Hendrickson 6. Cesaron 7. Zerline 8th. Reynolds 9th. Anthony 10th. Mach Speed 11th. And then I think Beluga in 15th. That rounds out that. Then you have Beachley, Ristolainen, Yatanashi, Diego and Andreas. Then you have DeSantiago, Jericola, Asherel, Porkchop, Kwan, Dutchy we lost, and Hezi Thomas we also lost. GT3, GT4, they're all race cars. Yeah, do not group people. Not very nice. Are we doing interviews today?
We sure are doing interviews, and
if anybody goes into the green room like they're supposed to.
Yeah, they all know the drill. We'll just have to wait for them to pile on in. A super exciting race from start to finish. Absolutely everything that could have happened pretty much did.
Yeah. My heart breaks again, but what else is new? All right, so far we got 2 from the GT4 class.
Bring them in. We'll start with the GT4s.
Yes, there's Justin Beachley and there's Moriko. I'm going to say this right now because because I said it on the stream. Beachley, get your butt in here. It's the GT4s first. I'm saying this right now. Beachley, as you were behind Ilpo with 5 minutes left, I made a comparison about you being the Dodgers and Ilpo being the Blue Jays.
Oh man, why'd you do that?
Because I
well, you came back.
Well, you.
Well, I hate the Dodgers, so it's like.
Okay, well, you just. Okay, you know what? Talk me through the feeling of what happened when the Ferrari absolutely torpedoed your side.
It wasn't good, I'll tell you that. There were some swears mentioned in chat. Yeah, it was very frustrating. Yeah, I knew they were behind us, and I saw out of the corner of my mirror that Ferrari miss their braking point, and I was just kind of hoping for the best and didn't. But yeah, that was quite a race.
How did you get past Ilpo at the end there? Because we kind of just caught it that like you were just in front all of the sudden, kind of. Did you just have a bad exit?
I don't know. It kind of felt like he let me go. I'm not sure what happened that would have prompted that, though, because I mean, we were both kind of wronged by GT3 traffic at different points, so I don't know if he thought something happened that he needed to let that position go. I'm not really sure, but it was a very easy pass on the straight. I mean, I knew I had been getting better runs onto the straight than him, but it wasn't like ever that easy. You know, I would have to, get him in the braking zone of T1. But yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. I'm sure it'll all come to light in the Discord chat at some point. But yeah, that was quite a race. I don't think we've ever had one where traffic has affected the result that much. Or at least
I can't think of one recently, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. You must have seen behind you got taken out by another GT3. You got a GT3 helping. He got a GT3 helping. By I mean a complete torpedo.
Yeah, it was.
Which is unfortunate because we want to see racing. We don't want to see the racing affected by other classes. But you're gonna have that happen when you have GT3s and GT4s on the same track. Mirko, what happened there? You hit Andreas, you slowed down, and then you let 6 other cars battle for P3 in class. One of them was a GT3, but I don't care.
I braked later than I should have, given that there was a BMW in front of me. That was entirely my fault. I should know better than that with this car. It's a constant issue, apparently.
Apparently.
It's always on lap 4. This last race, I rear-ended someone in the chicane in lap 4.
We gotta make it 3-lap races, and then you'll be out in front all the time. Yeah.
But no, I had a lot of fun with Diego during that first stint. My tires were under pressure, so I had a hard time getting any amount of grip. So when I pitted, I had to change tires. So I was able to do a lot faster then, but that back and forth was a lot of fun, especially if I were to get corner exit ever so slightly wrong in that car. I dropped behind a good couple of tenths going onto the straight. So it was frustrating, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were kind of saying during the broadcast there that it seemed like the Ginetta just has to get everything perfect in the corners to have a chance down the straight. And again, those straights just come at the worst part. They come at the best corner exits and into the heaviest braking zones. Like, come on, Indianapolis. Design it better for the Ginetta.
No, that car is 100% a momentum car, and that's the challenge, and that's the fun with that car, is that you have to keep the momentum up during corners, or else you're not getting a good line out, or you're not getting good speed going onto straights. And that could really screw you when you're fighting with someone else who has the low-end torque and the top speed over you.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. But you managed to get a P3, so can't complain, I guess.
No, that's the first time I've had one.
You didn't have... Well, yeah, I stole your other one. I remember exactly how I stole it. It was a dive into turn 1.
Yep.
But yeah, no. Congrats, guys. P1 for Beachley and P3 for Mirko. Good work, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
I can't wait for next week.
Well, I'll be here. It's Zolder, my favorite.
Ooh, a little bit better for track for this car.
Yeah, right? Not a lot of straights there.
Yeah. Into the gravel of the wall, yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of straights, but a lot more curbs for a lot of the drivers to deal with there. As we saw a lot of battling there into turn 1 with a lot of curbs coming into play pretty heavily. So we'll see exactly how they play out at Zolder.
This car can handle the sausages. We'll be fine. I've taken so many without really any real issues.
Did nothing but eat sausage in turn 1 for the entire last half. Beachley was like, you know what? That sausage curb that can mostly like screw over cars. You know what? I'm gonna run over it every time.
That's how it was most of the time.
Yeah, that's part of my practice, is just seeing how much curb I can eat before the car flies off track. So
No, literally what Kusha said is like, oh, he's just practicing for his eventual turn one overtake, and sure enough, you just eat the curb for the turn one overtake.
exactly. See, you
right,
guys
well.
know what's up.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, exactly.
All right, good job,
Exactly.
guys. We'll see you next. All right, we'll move them out, and we will move the GT3 podium in. And so far, all we have is Kerbal, my teammate on Tuesdays and the winner today, and Sarah, who got P2 but has not lost a race yet, but now has to Kerbal. That was fun. The undercut proves very well, eh, Kerbal?
Undercut? Wait, I undercut?
Yeah.
You were in the. He was in the first place. There's no way for him to undercut.
I was just pitting when I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, you undercut Sarah by like 3 or 4 laps.
Did you come out of the pits and get like stuck behind
But
something?
I
Sarah?
did pit later than you, like for 4 laps. I did pit later.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a fair amount of traffic. Sarah got caught with Beachley.
Yeah, I mean, every time you go through that that U-turn and the S's, you just have to follow the GT4s. Like, there's no way to overtake. That's really frustrating.
Oh, I sent it down the inside of a few GT4s that corner.
Oh, we seen a lot of send it to the inside of GT4s. Some worked, some very much didn't.
Yeah.
The one I'm thinking about is Sarah's tried to go around technically inside outside of Beachley, got thrown onto the grass, then got stuck behind Ilpo, and then shoved it up the inside of Ilpo out of like turn 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was watching that in my rear view.
And after that point, I'm just like, well, I don't think Sarah's catching Kerbal now.
Yeah,
Go on.
I was gonna say you closed down the gap pretty quick.
Yes, on the second, because like I pitted a bit later, so I know like if you run the tires like long enough, the tires will start to get grain, light grain on your tires, then it will slow your pace down so much. So I chose to just leave one set of tire that could get no grains. So I pit like a lot later, like 4 laps later than the normal pit stop window. That definitely works, but I still made a few mistakes on the final 3 laps, I guess.
Yeah, did you see both me and Sarah went wide in turn 1?
Sarah went a lot wide into turn 1 a few times. I didn't see Kerbal go wide, but I saw a few times Sarah go pretty wide, unfortunately.
Yeah, because sometimes I brake too late. Like, I mean, in this track, I think it's just maybe the second or maybe third race I run in this track. So like there are still some points that I forgot where to brake, especially like you can see in the like first 10 minutes of the race, I always missing the braking points like for the last three turns. And that allows like Neil to overtake me, and I think Kevin did have a chance, but yeah, finally I got my pace back. Like I found all my braking point back, so
Takes
lucky.
a few laps.
Yeah, it took a few laps.
Yeah, Neil, you were saying last week you needed to get the practice in, and looks like you got it here. Matched the pace, even times in the qualifying. That was super cool to see. 2 Lexus with an absolutely identical time on the board.
And she said it before me, so that's why she started ahead of me, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yes.
I was trying so hard to get out of the pits before you, Sarah, and I thought I did.
Yeah, me too. Like I think I have like another 2/10 on my delta on my last lap, but all of a sudden I brake too late and then onto the grass, everything, boom.
Yeah, I lost like I maybe had maybe 1/10, maybe like a seventh, and I lost it in the last corner. Ended up like finishing my last lap the same exact time. I was like, come on.
Well, that's just how it goes sometimes. Yeah, but it was, again, super thrilling from start to finish from you guys. It was, even though the gaps were opened up at points, closed them down pretty much within a few laps and super tight. Looking forward to what you guys can do next week at Zolder.
Yeah, we're both kind of nauseous from Zolder.
That's fair. A bit of a roller coaster ride there.
Yeah, I need to maybe give some research about like how to fly over those curves. And, yeah.
I believe I can fly.
I need a college degree for that.
Turn the wing upside down, you know.
Probably.
Just pass over them.
Yeah, exactly. More so float than drive over them. But yeah, thanks guys for joining us tonight, and congrats on the podiums. Thank you. We will hopefully see you guys next week as well.
Yeah, thank you guys for commentating. Yeah, good night, sir.
Good night. Good night.
Good to talk to you always, Tyler.
Huh?
And
Say again, Neil?
What? Oh, I said it's always good to talk to you, Tyler, and you as well, Kuja.
Likewise, Neil.
Yeah,
Likewise.
but I don't get to talk to you in this formal sense. But this is formal.
This is formal.
There's nothing formal about this. I will. If this was a child-friendly broadcast, I'd be swearing at you if I could.
I got to watch the replay, but I'm really hoping at one point you told me to get closer to the wall.
I did mention that in qualifying. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
He did mention that was your pro strategy here.
Yeah. Just scrape some paint every lap.
Yeah, we'll see how the paint scraping goes next week around Zolder. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate you joining us.
All right,
see
talk to you guys later.
Appreciate you. And thanks, Tyler, joining us tonight for round number 3 here at Indianapolis. We'll head to your closing words before I do all the good stuff.
I shouldn't have mentioned the Dodgers. I brought so much unnecessary pain. Zonders is right. The PTSD is real, and it's gonna be a while before I feel okay.
Yeah.
All that matters is we had some good racing tonight. We had some incidences that we probably all want to avoid, and hopefully next week we'll be able to answer the question: what is a group of Lexuses?
Yeah, that's the question for next week. We'll get a poll up. Make sure. Yeah, that's everybody's homework. Research what a group of Lexuses is called. And yeah, if you want to see yourself on this grid, signups are still open all throughout the season at SimGrid. !SimGrid will get you a link to get signed up for this championship and any other ones that Trackalicious is hosting all throughout the week, whether it be LMU on Tuesdays or Fridays, ACC Mondays and Wednesdays, or iRacing on Thursdays. That is your place to go. Discord is the place to go and get all of the latest news and events. And we have the 6 hours and 66 minutes of Silverstone coming up in just 10 days. Make sure you get yourself a team or do it solo if you want. Get signed up on SimGrid. We are really looking forward to what sort of action that race can bring. Thank you guys for watching us this evening in round number 3. Oh, forgot to mention, get yourself some Trackalicious shirts. They're available on the Trackalicious website. All sorts of cars are available, all sorts of colors as well. Get yourself a t-shirt or a hat or some boxers or some socks or whatever you fancy. Holiday season is coming up around the corner. Makes a good gift for any sim racing or car lover alike. Thank you guys for joining us. Speaking of car lovers and sim racers, we are going to raid Boris Angel. Spread the love from one sim racing community to another. Tell them Trackalicious sent you. And have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be joining us from. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.